I don't know if this toy is completely legit, but I love it anyway. So, come with me as we go to Hyrule. And welcome to It Came From My Side of the Laundry Room. My name's Rob, and in this episode, we're going to take a look at an action figure that could be of questionable origin, but I think it's super awesome, and it started to kick me off to a whole new collecting craze. So, without further ado, let's take a look at this Legend of Zelda Link figure. Okay, first things first, let me give a little backstory. I got a coupon that I know a ton of you guys have got as well from eBay, where it was $25 gift certificate. Well, because of all the issues I've been having trying to get the G.I. Joe classified, I thought, forget it. I want to look for something completely new, something different, something I wouldn't have gotten any other way. So I started searching eBay. I actually planned on doing an episode of how far could $25 get me. And I thought it would be a fun episode, but just never got to it. And the expiration date was coming up, so I just went ahead and purchased it. But somehow, just because I'm a big Legend of Zelda fan, my kids are huge fans, so ultimately, that's what I searched for. And lo and behold, I found a Legend of Zelda Link figure from Figma. Now, I'm not 100% sure of the origins or anything of the Figma line. I believe it's a Japanese line. Well, anyway, it looked great. It was in the package. It was a great price. It was like $26. So ultimately I was going to pay $1 to get a action figure, and it's in the 6-inch scale, so I thought that's even more cool, to go along with the Joes I've been getting that are in that scale. So anyway, it shows up pretty darn quick from China, which, that didn't really set off any flags. Some of the things I was reading were that these are factory, don't want to say mess ups, but they're imperfections from the factory, and they're coming from the actual country of origin, not the actual company's country of origin. So I took a chance, and this is what actually came in the mail. Let me stretch over here, make sure my address isn't anywhere. Just a styrofoam box that says Fragile on it. So when this was in the mailbox, at first I was like, what the heck is this? I had no idea this would be the action figure, because I expected it to come in the original box. Let me pull back a little bit so you can see the whole shebang here. I'm not going to flip it over because my address is on it. But anyway, and when I opened it up, I was met with this. This is the Link figure. He was actually missing his arm in there, and every little bit of gear, because I got the deluxe version that came with extra stuff, came in a bag. So at first I was a little disappointed, apprehensive of what the heck. But then I remembered I paid $1 for it. So I wanted to look at it without judging it too hard. So let's take a look at the figure first. Now, these are super posable. Almost to a fault. when I was talking to my buddy Slim over at the Galactic Happy Hour about it, I actually said sometimes too much is a bad thing. Because, like this happens quite a lot. Maybe this is part of the factory defect. Maybe it's just how it is. I mean, this just isn't a toy that you can give a kid to play with. And maybe they're not intended to be played with that much. Maybe they're just intended to be posed and sat somewhere, which is pretty much what I do. So, it has a lot of give in the joints. But the head is supposed to come off because you can change the faces, which we'll get into in a second. You can change the hands to different poses. And like I said, this thing is super posable. It is not as durable as a lot of other figures, but I mean, the leg joints are very strong, and you can see it's like a weird circle joint, and you can hear it's got some give to it. The toes are posable, the ankles, the thigh goes around. And there goes his head again. That's going to happen a lot. Let me just set it here to the side. Sorry if anyone's squeamish out there. But the arms, I mean, other than the shoulder joints that are kind of wonky, but they're like, here, I'll pop one off. Well, I don't have to. You can see right in there. Sorry if this is blurry, like in the Storm Shadow video. It's just the camera. I apologize. But they're just ball joints that snap in there. But the elbows seem pretty sturdy. I mean, he has details here like his pouches. You can see the chainmail under his oh, I can't think of the word, tabard. I don't think that's it, but kind of like with the Hasbro 6-inch figures, these kind of are loose, but you can snap them up in there, just kind of like the legs or the thighs or however, the hips on some of the G.I. Joe figures. But you know, his neck, well, he has this posability, but it all comes from this super duper double ball joint in the neck. But the thing is, if you overpose it, it just looks horrific. And that's actually how he came in the container when I opened it, where it was overextended. You saw the joint. He's missing an arm. But like I said, I wasn't going to judge it because it was $1. And once we start getting into playing with them, I'll show you why I'm in love with this action figure line. And we'll get into a little bit more of the hunting aspect of it. So we'll set him there, but let's look at all of his gear. First off, one of the things that I absolutely love about this figure, and a lot of the ones produced in Japan like this, are they come with stands. And I don't mean just like posts on the feet kind of stands. I mean like this. So this plugs into his bag like that, goes here, and it takes a second to get it just right. Here, let me move the camera. this way so you can see it. But right there, that's half of the awesomeness, in my opinion. And it came with another one that I'll get to why in a second. But you have this second one, and it also comes with these. So it's like, wow, I could fit a lot of other cool figures in with this. And just plugs in like this. And there you go. Now, let me go back to this. Of course, now the camera is going to be difficult since I moved it, so excuse me. Oh, that's the problem with making do with what you have sometimes. Anyway, let's take a look at the gear he came with. Now, I think this is Twilight Princess Link. Let me double check real quick because I don't want to be wrong here. And I can check in 2 seconds. It is the... Of course. It is Figma 320. So I'll just look that up. Because like everything that bugs me nowadays about action figures, they're numbered. And they have 320 of them. Yes, this is Twilight Princess version. Now, this could be a total knockoff figure because it isn't as pretty as the pictures I've seen. It didn't come with a package, but we'll get into that a little bit more of how you can... Well, I don't need to get into it later. I'll talk about right now. You can find these figures probably in this condition for $5, $7, up to $20 for like really cool anime figures and video game figures and, you know, things of that ilk. But he comes with, and this is what gets me, a lot of these figures come with really great accessories. He comes with a basic sword. And in the package it came, well, it came with the handle off. And my kids were right off the bat like, it's broke, it's broke. Actually, it's not. It's how they go into his hands. As his head will probably pop back off. Because he has molded hands, you just stick the handle on up, put the blade on, and there you go. And his head fell off again. Ooh, one more thing about the posability. I was so distracted about the head falling off, I didn't show you this. His cap is posable. You overextend it, it does pop out. But it adds some really cool posing where you could pretend the wind's blowing it, or he's swinging from the side, that he's falling or jumping. Or he's some weird creature that's just a head with like a snake body, like a naga or something. Brrr. But I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, back to the gear. So the swords and most of the other things go in like that. But they come with scabbards, which are really nice and very beefy. This stupid head. Yeah, this is definitely a figure you pose and set somewhere, and then maybe change the pose every so often. But the swords go back here. And they don't sit flush, but that's okay. I mean, from here, it looks fine. Whoop. Of course, I'm cutting it off on the camera. But here, I mean, from this this angle, it looks fine. But yeah, there is definitely a gap here. And we'll get into why that is. There's a reason for that. But he comes with his like hook shot grappler. And what's neat about this is you can pop this off. Let me set freaking head. That pops off. And then this. So you can make it like he's actually shooting it. And that's where the second stand comes in. Because if you want to pose it, that he's standing over there holding his hook shot, you can put this in here and pretend that it's flying out. And he also comes with, I'm sure in the game it has a name, I just can't think of it right now, but like this giant mace that also plugs into one of these, goes into the hook shot thing. But it wouldn't be Link without the Master Sword. It looks really nice. The scabbard's nice detail on the hilt. The blade has the Triforce logo on it. And again, the handle comes off so it can go into his hands. And seeing, this is where I'm going to leave his head off until I'm done with this. But you can put that there. That one actually went in. See, that's one of the things, maybe it was a defect, because I had to punch out this hole in the back. Let's see if this fits better now. Not really. They seem to be the same size. I don't know what's going on. Just forgive me. But he comes with Hyrulean Shield here. The strap actually comes off. Well, it comes off where you can just loosen it like that. And the handle, yeah, that's the... Like I said, sometimes too much is a bad thing. And sometimes you just want an accessory to slip right on and be on. But the handle comes out. You gotta fish it through. Yeah, this is one of the accessories that ticks me off the most. But what I was saying about it having room in his back, because you can start moving these around. Oh, see, oh, we got to that feature already by accident, that his hands pop off. Gotta put this back in there. But you can reconfigure this. We'll put it up top here. Anyways, you get the idea. You can have it on his back like this. Believe me, it works. I'm just fumbling it around right now. I'm not doing the best job in the world of selling this thing, but believe me, I had one heck of a great afternoon playing with it. And right there, that's worth the money to me. Makes me want to get some more. But you can put the shield there, and then place it on his back. Gosh darn it. It works. It works. Trust me. Ah. What the heck? Yeah, these are very modular. I've seen that people sell different torsos and arms and stuff for some of the other figures, not Link here in particular, but some of the anime figures. But one of the poses I like the most take his hands off here is him with his bow. I think how they did it is so slick that I would have loved for them to do the Storm Shadow like this for Hasbro. And he comes with other hands. I'll show you those in a second. But you have this. I mean, that looks great if you can see that, if it's not too blurry. I mean, the finger pose looks great. And this is pretty much how I've had him posed for the week that I've had him. And then he has his arrow already knocked in his fingers. You can take it out and slide it in. And I think that is a great feature. I would love to see all action figures that come with bows and arrows do that. So, oh man, I shouldn't have taken him out of his pose. I should have just said, here guys, here's this cool figure, and left it at that. Because now it's just falling apart all over the place. But trust me when I say I had fun with this. And therefore, it's worth the price of admission. Oh my gosh. Wow, this is like turning into a blooper reel episode of how to kill your action figures. Anyway, if Storm Shadow did come like this, it wouldn't be falling apart all over the place. And I had it posed super awesome, and I probably won't be able to recreate it at this moment because I had his head cocked. His arm wasn't falling off. Arrow wasn't falling off. Oh my goodness. This is turning into one of the worst reviews ever. Because here I am saying how much I love this thing, and it's self-destructing in my hands as we speak. And again, I have not purchased a real legitimate Figma figure because they are quite pricey. But if I can get some for $5, $7, I think I'd be happy just having them on my shelf to look at, play with every once in a while to pose, pick up all the pieces apparently. I mean, they even have a Michael Jackson Thriller figure. And I definitely want to get that. I'm probably off camera here. I definitely am. So what you saw was me fighting that. But believe me, you can get this thing posed perfectly with his bow and arrow. Anyway, this review didn't go as well as I wanted it to go, but I wanted to do a size comparison here. And the thing is, the size works with Link because as a Hyrulean, he's kind of short. So to an average size human, it works. Oh, and one more thing before I stop torturing the poor dude is he comes with different hands, and he actually comes with his mask. Different faces. So you have like a yelling face, a smirking face. Here's different things for the stand. And he comes with all these different hands and another wrist joint. Yeah, maybe it was a knockoff, but I'm cool with that. Like I said, I'm willing to invest $5, $7, $10 into these figures, and it's just you got to be onto the auction to get them that cheap. I mean, excuse me, I'm looking at a One Punch Man one, a Solid Snake one, the Michael Jackson one, a couple My Hero Academia ones, just ones that I would love to have on my shelf. But anyway, I apologize for this self-destructing action figure. I apologize for having it off camera, fiddling with it. But anyway, again, I was going to say I recommend these. I mean, for the price, you can't go wrong. $5. I paid $1 for this, so what happens, happens. But definitely looking for more at a cheap price. So anyway, I have to apologize again. I filmed the outro part before this, so I don't mention the mishaps here with poor Link. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had some entertainment in watching his demise. But anyway, back to me. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. I wanted to share one more thing before you all go this evening, and that is the Master Sword. Look at the size of this thing.
Wow.
I love it. It's nice and lightweight. It's like a prop replica, so it's really hard foam, really sturdy. Got the Triforce right here, but it's a pretty good recreation. I picked this up at the Renaissance Festival I went to recently, and I proudly display this on my wall with my other swords over here, which I need to hang back up, my Sword of Omens and my Minecraft sword. But just wanted to show this. It's super rad. Goes great with the one that Link came with in the figure. But anyway, thanks for watching. And if you like this episode, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everybody. And if you're new around here, and you enjoyed this, or any of the other episodes that YouTube is recommending down here, please hit subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching, keep being rad, and stay dorky.